It's Wendy Shower at dcshower@aol.com, and this is my story about how somebody showed compassion to me. It was Friday night of a really long week. I'd worked 60 plus hours and I was exhausted, and all I could think about was going home, getting in bed, and reading a good book. That didn't happen. On July 25th, 2014, I walk into the house and I go around the corner from my kitchen and I see water pouring out of my ceiling, through the ceiling lamp, onto the floor, all over the place. And I stood there shocked, saying, what's going on here? And then I realized the upstairs bathroom is right above that light. I run upstairs, I go into the bathroom, and there's water everywhere. The toilet is overflowing with water. And I stood there because it was so surreal. It's like, what is just happening? Why is this happening? And I turn around, and there's my husband Gary behind me with that same look, like, what just happened? We kind of snapped to, and we realized we got to get going. We got to get this water up off the floor so it doesn't keep going down into our living room. So we're working, I get out the shop vac, Gary calls the insurance company, and we're working, we love to read. So we've got books all over the floor because we need to get a new bookcase. Our books are getting wet, we're putting things in boxes, we're going up and down the stairs, and we're working. A crew comes, that's the heavy duty shop vac, to clean up the water, and at 2:30 in the morning, I'm ready to crack. And I tend to be a tough cookie, and I don't crack easy. And my husband looked at me and he says, you need to go to a hotel. You're cracking. So I'm exhausted. I wanted to be in bed hours ago. My house is ruined, and I'm feeling horrible. And I get to the hotel, and I tell the lady what had happened, and I was an inconvenience to her. I know it was 2 o'clock in the morning, but that was her job. And all she had to do was say, I'm sorry, that's really horrible, but it wasn't like that. She kind of threw the papers on the table for me to sign. She's like, your room's over there, go up the elevator, and it's on the whatever floor. And I was like, I thought bad things in my head because, like, I had a bad day, and I wanted somebody to just say, I'm sorry. That's all I needed. So the next morning, I leave the hotel. We're working all day long, and it's 115 degrees in there because they have to heat up the house to get the water out. And we're exhausted, and my husband Gary is calling every hotel in town, and nothing is open. And we're starting to lose hope. And he said, you know, there's probably some hotels 20 minutes up the road. Why don't you call them? All of them were closed or full, and there was one. And he called, and I heard him tell the story of what happened, and then he starts telling the credit card number. And I was so excited. It's like, we get to sleep not in this 115 degrees. We've got a hotel room. So we drive 20 minutes to this hotel, and we were exhausted. We were physically and mentally exhausted. And we walk into the door, and we look like ragamuffins. You know, it's like sweat on us. Our clothes were just unkempt, I guess. And we walk in, and this beautiful girl, Annalise, says, Mr. and Mrs. Moon, it's so good to see you. And I looked at her, it's like, how did you know that was us? And she says, I know that you've had a really bad day. She says, I am here for you, and I would like you to have a good stay so that you can have a good ending to your horrible couple days. And I looked at my husband and I said, that was the nicest thing that she could have said in that moment. Because we were having it seemed like a whole week, and it was only 2 days. And this woman here knew that we were having a tough time, and she made us feel so welcome. We've been telling everybody about this hotel. But her compassion and kindness went way beyond her job. And she felt like she, just with her voice and what she was saying, was she just wrapped her little hands around us and gave us a hug. And she says, it's going to be okay, and you can come here and we will do whatever you need us to do for you. And it's those little things. And that one lady all she had to do was say, "I'm sorry, that sounds really horrible." And so when you think about it, all you have to do is one little thing for somebody. If somebody's having a bad day, say something nice to help cheer them up. How big is that? That's a little tiny, little something in your day. And I am so eternally grateful for Annalise and how positive and great she was for us that day, and we had a good night.